of ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation, its management, or sponsors. The station accepts no responsibility for statements made.
For mental health, it's time to lace up, show up, and make a difference. Join the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis' annual Mental Health Walk Run on May 17th at Figgy Bay Lawn, starting at 4:30 a.m. sharp. Choose from 4 package options, starting at just $40 EC. Bring your best friend, your fur buddy, or your entire squad, and let's hit the road for a cause. Win cash prizes from $1,000 to $2,500. Plus special prizes for the best dressed person, youngest participant, and more. Register today at any Development Bank branch or WhatsApp 869-765-4342. Together, step by step, we move for a mentally healthy federation. A huge thank you to our incredible sponsors for standing with us for mental health. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello and welcome to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me in the program for today, Thursday, March 27th, 2025. When we open the phone lines, you may call us at 662-8674. That is 662-8674. You may also join the conversation via our social media platforms on Facebook at ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation and via YouTube at ZIZ Online. I look forward to this conversating or having a conversation with you, the listening audience, as we'll be opening the phone lines very shortly to have more of an open discussion on matters of national importance and national interest. The government of St. Kitts and Nevis, led by Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew, is participating in a summit or a CARICOM Africa Connection, or summit rather, in Nigeria, Caribbean Investment Summit 2025. So, Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, is leading a delegation, or has led a delegation to Abuja, Nigeria, for the Afri-Caribbean Investment Summit 2025. And the Prime Minister, as well as other members of the delegation, made presentations at that summit. Over the past 3 days, the summit has brought together government leaders, business executives, cultural icons, and development partners from across Africa and the Caribbean in a united mission to strengthen ties and shape a shared economic future. Delivering the summit's closing remarks, Prime Minister Drew reflected on the significance of the moment and reaffirmed his commitment to turning dialogue into development. He said, quote, "This was no ordinary summit. It was a declaration of purpose." The Prime Minister expressed deep gratitude to the host country, the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and to Miss Aisha Mena and the Aquarian Consult team for creating a space of meaningful exchange and collaboration. He also acknowledged the Afri-Exim Bank for its role in championing Afro-Caribbean partnerships. Now, a key highlight of his closing message was the announcement of his intention to bring Caribbean leadership back to Abuja in 2026 during his tenure as chairman of the CARICOM Heads of Government. Over the course of the summit, the Prime Minister engaged in conversations on finance, climate resilience, and access to capital, and observed strong representation from St. Kitts and Nevis across a wide range of sessions, from agriculture and tourism to sustainable development and the economy. The final day of the summit also featured well-crafted presentations from key members of our delegation, the St. Kitts and Nevis delegation. Dr. Marcus Natta, Cabinet Secretary and head of the Aspire program, delivered an insightful presentation on transformative goals of the initiative, while His Excellency Larry Vaughan, Ambassador to CARICOM and the OECS, spoke compellingly on the importance of both acknowledging and leveraging the similarities and differences between Africa and the Caribbean, not as divisions, but as powerful tools to foster meaningful collaboration, mutual growth, and a stronger collective identity. That is from St. Kitts and Nevis's participation in the landmark Afri-Caribbean Investment Summit 2025 taking place in Nigeria, and I think it lasted about 3 or 4 days, and St. Kitts and Nevis was represented at this summit with a delegation headed by Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew, focusing on building partnerships in climate resilience, especially as St. Kitts and Nevis advances the Sustainable Island State Agenda, and looking at various partnerships that could be forged between or built between the Caribbean and Africa, Nigeria in particular. And some of the other discussions included strengthening relationships between our country and between our country and Nigeria. I think today is the final day of the summit. Yes, today, Thursday, is the final day of the summit. So it went on for about 3-4 days thereabout, and they looked at transformative initiatives, collaboration, and how the Caribbean, how St. Kitts and Nevis can work with Nigeria and other countries in Africa to foster growth and development. When we open the phone lines, you may call us at 662-8674. Again, the numbers are 662-8674. We will take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation here on The Edge. Stay with us.
Listen, you hear the song? It's Nostalgia on ZIZ Radio from 1 to 3 in the afternoon on Thursdays. On Nostalgia, everybody has a good voice, so relax and go in the zone with us. Get your songbook, look in the index, find the song that is playing, and sing along. Join ZIZ Radio every Thursday from 1 to 3 for Nostalgia. It's music to soothe you right where it hurts. ZIZ Radio, touching you with variety and style.
Every step you take. St. Kitts and Nevis, are you ready to step up for mental health? It's time to lace up, show up, and make a difference. Join the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis' annual mental health walk run on May 17th at Figgy Lawn, starting at 4:30 a.m. sharp. Choose from 4 package options, starting at just $40 EC. Bring your best friend, your fur buddy, or your entire squad, and let's hit the road for a cause. Win cash prizes from $1,000 to $2,500, plus special prizes for the best dressed person, youngest participant, and more. Register today at any Development Bank branch or WhatsApp 869-765-4342. Together, step by step, we move for a mentally healthy federation. A huge thank you to our incredible sponsors for standing with us for mental health. Terms and conditions apply.
This is my land, my island, our home. The climate has changed, it's becoming strange. We have to come together to keep her forever resilient and strong. We need slow civilization for its rehabilitation. Come together as a nation for drought and flood mitigation. Development with policies and plans. Let's change our ways, protect our lands. Get involved, every child, woman and man. Island resilience has got the plan. This is my land, my island, our home. It's time to come together to keep her forever resilient and strong.
Island Resilience, promoting a climate of change. The Climate Change Adaptation and Sustainable Land Management Initiative of the OECS Commission, funded by the European Union.
From the heart of ZIZ Radio comes a political talk show like no other. The Edge, with host Devonne Cornelius giving you his take on the biggest stories happening in governance today. Got something to say? Let's hear it. Give us a call at 869-465-2555, Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. One solid hour of in-depth analysis of the machinery that makes our country tick. The Edge, cutting into the matters at hand.
Welcome back to the Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me in the program for today. We'll open the phone lines now and begin taking your calls at 662-8674. That is 662-8674. It's more of an open discussion. You feel free to call and lend your voice on matters of national importance. We'll take our first call for the morning. Hello, you're on the air. Good morning.
Greetings, my brother.
Yes. How are you doing?
I am very much well.
All right, that's good.
Okay. Yes, we know that down, about what's going on right now with the thing is with the Afrique Bank. Are you hearing me clearly?
Yes, I am. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay, and we are interested in the connection with finance, with money, because that's the way to go. And when we heard it, our meditation move on our brother Colonel Gaddafi, when the episodes were made, even we think nearest. In particular, in the process of that, we know what took place, He was murdered. And that intention they look like, like it went to zero. And we are glad to see the reviving of the same with the Afrique Bank. The other thing, Ricardo, you were saying something?
No, go ahead.
The other thing, our ambassador, I think, that collective identity, stronger collective identity. Very key. Very key. We have lots of nationalities as an African people, or through the region and in other places. But that collective African identity, it is so vital within the scheme of things, because going forward as an African people, and we are so glad that is part of the agenda of what is happening right now. Very important, because with that one identity, we can do so much things as a people. It can raise consciousness, and it can be very important in going forward with lifting ourselves economically as a race of people, in the place of economical warfare and all kind of other warfare, having that collective identity as strong as it can be, it will serve a very, very important purpose. People. Thanks much for sharing, and we wish the gathering all the best, and we pray that all the liberation and everything go well. We see some success coming forward out of that.
All right, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution to the program. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mr. Devon.
Yes, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm not doing too bad for my age, and I'm enjoying my retirement.
All right, that's good too.
You will get there soon. GQ will get there soon too.
I think he'll get there sooner than me.
Eh?
I think he'll get there sooner than me, but nevertheless, I'll get there too.
Yes. Okay, I want to touch a couple of things. This summit in Africa, right, but in Nigeria, right? Mm-hmm. We have been dealing with them a long time because the students go to schools here, you know, and a number of them are living and working here, and even start families here. Now, the question is, after this summit, what are we going to benefit out of it? And then we are asking, did our contingent give an invitation for them to come here next year to have a summit here in St. Kitts Nevis? That should be a thing, and we hope by next year we will see, the citizens and residents of St. Kitts Nevis will see some results out of this summit, because what has been happening, our leaders have been traveling every week all over the world, and we are yet to wait to see some benefit out of all of these travels. Mind you, some of them they are invited too, right? The cost is on those who invite. But we, the taxpayers, are paying a lot of money for the travel of ministers and large entourage on a weekly basis, and we yet to hear of some results. The other thing is housing. Those houses by the Trinidad company, that $1.5 billion, $50 that was supposed to be spreading across St. Kitts. Two houses were built given out. We yet to see the building of the other houses. And you remember, I came right on the station and told you all that project will never come up. And I said on the station and other talk shows that I have experience of two Trinidad companies come here on the previous Labour government, start housing and did not complete. The then Dr. Denzel Douglas Labour government had to complete these things so the people could get their houses. And I said to y'all on this program, this project will never happen. And a lot of people abuse me on Facebook and on the talk shows. Oh, give the thing a chance, and you're always negative. I say, oh, you might not have the experience, but I have the experience. This project will never get off the ground. I said that to the Attorney General one time, and he told us that there is a signing in the contract that cannot reveal to the public. And he said if the project didn't come up when I questioned him, there are going to be, my simple words, consequences. Well, I have learned some information from my professors and students of the Coconut Tree University that the Attorney General, it's alleged that the Attorney General calling the White Collar Crime Unit and the Financial Services Unit to investigate this failure of this housing scheme. That
And your information from the Coconut Tree University, that's credible.
Eh?
The information that you've received, that's credible information?
Well, the university students always bring forth credible. What you all need to do in the journalistic field now is question the Attorney General if he have started an investigation into this housing fail scheme, which I warned him and I warned the country.
I think at the last press conference it was when I asked the question, I think the housing minister stated that, I stand to be corrected, but I believe he said something on the lines of the Attorney General's office has been involved in the process as well, in terms of ensuring that St. Kitts Nevis is protected in this particular deal? I don't remember the fine details of exactly what he stated, but something was mentioned along those lines. But in terms of the investigation, what you've mentioned, I can't substantiate that.
Well, we have learned some alleged information that the Attorney General office has called in the white collar crime unit to investigate, and also calling financial services to investigate. So you all please to check into that. The public need to know, because I warned him some weeks ago and months ago to abandon, because he promised us that if this project don't get off the ground in a timely manner, the project will call off. So why is he lingering with the project up until now? August 6th, 7th is going to end the third year of this Labour government and start the fourth year. So when are these houses are going to build? Shortly after that, and you could say right now, we are preparing for election mode. So when are these houses going to build? And right now, we should have already have almost 2,000 houses, because they promised us 600 houses per year. We should have been doing 18 to over 200 houses by now. And yet we have not seen none after those two. The one that was built in Connery on the main road, and the one that was built in Taylor that was given out as gift to those people, right? We are yet awaiting the other houses. And we want some information from the Attorney General, because he was one of the persons who behind and believed that this project will get off the ground. That's what he told us. So how come now he's hiding information, Mr. Attorney General? The public wants to hear from you. Have you all called off this project? Because I did warn you. And I did tell you this project will never get off the ground.
All right.
They're gone.
Thank you, Carter, for your contribution to the program. It's 11:29. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation here on The Edge. Stay with us.
NCI's here day and night, always here for you, making it right. Always here for you, always. With NCI, you've got a friend, always here for you, always. Right here till the
At National Caribbean Insurance, you are covered and secure. We're your partner, your protector, your peace of mind. So for home, for health, for life, choose NCI, because we're always here for you. Always.
Always here for you. Always. NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Always. Right here till the very end. Always here for you. Always. NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Always. Right here till the very end.
It's a big yard sale, one day only, cash and credit sales. Up to 90% off selected items. That's Court's big yard sale at the Court's Distribution Center in Limekeel, Basse-Terre. On Friday, 28th March from 6 in the morning to 12 noon.
and welcome back to The Edge here in ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 662-8674. We have a caller. Hello, caller on the air. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Cornelius. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing well. And you, sir?
I'm doing very well. I listened with intent. I listened to Charles Brown making some valuable point, but I want to know from Charles Brown if this white collar company or whoever they be only for certain people, because I think the white collar people need to look after, and the Attorney General look into the Boston High School. This is a serious issue. I think they want to touch it. We need the white collar crime or whoever these people be to tell the country what happened to all the trophy and all the books and everything. When Mrs. Morton was the principal, Ron Collins was the deputy principal. What happened to all of these stuff? Nobody, what think is me? A laughing stock? Everybody come and do as they like? Let me ask you a question. If Ron Collins and these people are Sunny Point, Sems, wasn't the same thing, do you think all them trophies on Sunny Point would have been destroyed like that? On the Sean Richards?
Do we know? Do we know where these trophies are? These trophies, these books, and these.
My brother. Good lady was on Freedom FM, lying to she teeth. Said the trophy was in the trophies they must put away. I don't know where. But I got all the pictures with the trophy them scattered all over the place. And I'm saying she should be held responsible, accountable, everything for them trophy because she was the principal. They know long in advance what was going on and what was happening. So she should have been responsible in putting away all the trophy, the books, and everything for the Boston High School. She has no call coming out talking to people. And I'm very disappointed in all these parents in St. Kitts who had their children, went through at saga and is silent. I'm very disappointed. The other question I want to ask Mr. Cornelius, as a reporter, do anybody know who the land where the Boston High School temporary now belongs to? Do anybody know?
No, I don't.
Good. So don't you think the public need to know? But a man to understand the good government then was in. Transparency government was in. Timothy Hansen and put in a clause that we does not know. This is the same people say about good governance and transparency, you know. Well, I want Timothy to tell us, or next time you go to the next press conference, ask him who the land where the temporary school is at this moment belongs to, because it's government money paying for it. It's the citizens paying for it. You see, some people think that everybody's stupid in this country, you know. Charlie Morton was a part of. He had people parking their vehicle in the Boston High School. People there from 6 o'clock to how long in the night. So we could be so contaminated. The lies need to stop, and I hope an investigation start up. The AG, get your work together. Because the member shot and the 3 ladies got locked up for foolishness. They must refuse to give them bail. So why only certain people can lock up and certain people cannot? You have a good day, my brother.
All right, Carter, thank you for your contribution to the program. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. It's 11:36 and the phone line remains open at 662-8674. That is 662-8674. It's more of an open discussion, giving listeners the opportunity to call and lend their voice to matters of national importance. So call us and weigh in on the things happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis. For those of you who are just tuning in, the caller just spoke about the Boston High School issue, and we know that this is something that is more than a decade old. I think as early as 2014 or 2013, or even before that, we've been hearing some health concerns about the Boston High School. Where are we now? What happened in the last couple of years? And, when are we going to get that? But even as the caller raised the question about the trophies and the book projects and different things that I believe would be or are important to the school. I mean, trophies and other things that the school attained over the years from their participation in partnership, in championships and these different events, I believe would be important and would be monumental, would definitely mean something to the parents, the teachers, and most importantly, the students. So if it's a case where those trophies and different items have been discarded of or just there not being cared for, taken care of, then that's rather unfortunate. It's 11:37 and we are taking your calls. 662-8674. That is 662-8674. We also had the previous caller sharing his concerns as it relates to the housing project here in St. Kitts and Nevis with East Coast Housing Development. We have a caller on the line. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, a pleasant good morning to you, Mr. Cornelius. How are you?
I am doing well. What about you?
I'm giving God thanks for today.
All right.
There is 12 people gone overseas to Nigeria. 12 of them, I think I checked. I would like to know if the PM wife is one of them. Is she working for the Federation, and how much money are she getting at month? Have a blessed day.
All right, caller, thank you for your call. Let's about to the phone lines. We'll take this call. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Devon.
Yes, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. What I'm hearing is that there's a general slackness in our governance that needs to be taken care of. Okay? There are too many outstanding matters and too many, call them mistakes or mess-ups or mishaps, whatever you want to call them, that seem to be happening, and it's recurring without anybody seeming to look at it. Okay? Take, for instance, the hospital debacle in Nevis. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is nothing short of scandalous, right? From the start too. Right? In more accountable jurisdictions, that would have triggered the resignation of the Minister of Health, if not, in fact, the fall of the entire government. And it's amazing to see that level of incompetence is tolerated. Right? I mean, things like that, I mean, should not be allowed to continue without some kind of investigation and some conclusion as to what exactly happened and why it is still in that state. I mean, I think it was close to 20 million or above 20 million that has already been spent, and you're hearing things like, well, the whole project might have to be abandoned and redone, and nobody is going to account for that.
The matter is a really vexing issue. As you rightly said, from the start, it was mess up. And this was as early back as far as back as 2017. What we know now is a significant amount of money has been spent on the expansion, but it is still unfinished. It is incomplete, and that, regardless of whether you support the administration or you support the opposition or you're neutral, that ought to upset you. Because you're talking about public funds.
Exactly, and not just public funds, a lot of public funds. You're talking millions, right? I mean, there should be some kind of accountability for that.
How I see it, not to cut you off, Carla, but how I see it is, so I don't have any training and experience in accounting and financial management, right? So I don't expect anyone to give me a job to manage the financial affairs of a company. And I wouldn't take on the job because I know that is not where my training and experience is. And so you had a case where someone took on a job knowing fully well that they don't have what it takes, and now they've messed it up. They've wasted millions of dollars, and it is like it has gone for nothing, and that is
well, but Devon, that might be so, and yes, that person is accountable, but who should be more accountable is who gave him that job in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I think yesterday we talked about due diligence. You mean to tell me they did not do the homework and the necessary investigations as to whether or not, before you spend public funds like this, that it's going to be well spent?
Mm-hmm.
That's the point. That's why I call it slackness. It's slackness on the part of the people who hire them to do that job in the first place, right? And they should not be allowed to get. I don't know how all these years they've gotten away with all kind of explanations, time and time again, and people just accept that. That's strange. It's the same thing with that housing contract down here, because people were calling for the housing contract to be made public, and there was resistance, all kind of talk about, well, they have to protect trade secrets and all kind of nonsense in a housing contract. Huh? I mean, even if you want to redact certain parts of it, let people know exactly what they're getting into, what they're going for. I well remember attending what seemed like an open house where they had so many, and there were so many people with high expectations attending to see the models and that kind of thing. And you mean they just dash these people hopes like that? That's not good enough, man. That's why I call it slackness. Right? And then expect that people not going to question this.
Yeah. And I mean, in St. Kitts and Nevis is a democratic country, and we pride ourselves on democracy. So everybody has the right to question the housing project, because, again, going back to what you just stated, when it came first, or when it was announced first, people were excited. People were in fact looking forward to the completion.
Absolutely.
And so if people have questions about the timeline and exactly what we're going to get out of it, I see absolutely no issue with that. But the questions must be answered, though.
Right, exactly. And don't just brush it under the carpet or brush off people when they ask questions. Otherwise, the same thing going to happen and happen again. Right? That's why I say somehow they got to tighten up on these things, right? End the slackness and govern properly. I mean, do things the right way. Be open and transparent. All of those things. They mouth them off, but they're not executing it. They're not applying. They're not walking the talk, so to speak. Okay, and that really needs to come to an end, because it's like we're not going anywhere. We're just keeping our heads above the water. That is not where we want to be. As a developing country, with the idea of sustainability and so on in mind, we got to be more proactive and more enterprising and get things done and stop the talk, right? I mean, I heard somebody just talking about the visit to Nigeria. I don't know how many more of those we're going to have, but we really need to see some results for the money we're spending. I saw some things there on the internet where people were questioning the numbers, the size of the entourage, right? And they have a right to do that, because, for instance, the African Bank, we've been hearing about that for years now. What projects have they financed there? What do we get for all these interventions and missions overseas and so on. What do we get back? The public should always demand value for money. And if we're not seeing that, if that's not forthcoming, then they have a right to be questioning things. And I expect the reporters, as somebody said, reporters should be asking the hard questions. So I expect that whenever the next opportunity arises, whether in press conference or whatever, that questions are asked, then what exactly happened with the housing contract? What exactly is happening to the hospital? How can you govern like this? Right? What is happening to the Public Accounts Committee? What is happening to oversight of so many government or statutory corporations, the oversight of it of them? You wait until they get into trouble and then you come and give some excuse? No, you got to be proactive and make sure that they are run properly. And the only way to do that is to hold whoever is in charge of them accountable. Okay? And in a timely way. So let's hope, like I said, we end this slackness and tighten up on things. You know? So I can be for the benefit of everybody.
All right, Carla, thank you so much for your contribution to the program. It's 11:48, and you're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. The caller earlier called and asked, okay, let me take a pin out. We'll take the call. Hello, you're on the air, caller. Good morning.
Hey, Devon Carl here again. Another question, Devon.
Yes.
That when I get to the press conference, because them will be coming up shortly on the round table. Please to ask the Prime Minister if the government has settled with the landowners down there by Ross where he wants to build a new hospital. Because backwards, all kind of equipment down there cleaning the land again. And they are now removing the stuff that they clean. The Prime Minister said on Freedom FM in December when I questioned him that I am right, the land down there don't belong to the government, they belong to a number of persons, companies and things, which I did tell him, and he said I am right. And he said the government is negotiating with the landowners. Well, we see the backhoes them cleaning and removing stuff from down there. So the public wants to know how much they settle with those landowners for. And at what cost? Whether they get a deal, whether they promise the people them other pieces of land and some money, or they settle the people them with total cost of the market value today. And the country wants to know how much millions those land were settled for. Because it seems like now they're ready to go start because the trucks and backhoes and graders and all kind of thing are doing all kind of work down there presently. So the country needs to know how the country know if they settle with the landowners, what cost they settled for, what deal is out of that. And the other thing is, so our good friend who called talked about the trophy for the Bastia High School. The thing we also need to know, the then Prime Minister, Dr. Denzil Douglas, came on national radio and TV and said to the world he's a medical doctor and he's a father and nothing wrong at the high school. Shortly after that, he closed it twice. Not once, Devon, twice. He closed it down. And we had a shift system until unity government come in and rescue that shift system. Right? Those are the questions we are asking. Are gone.
All right, Carla, thank you so much for your contribution. And we are going to take it there, going to stop it there with the calls as we begin to wrap up our conversation. It is 11:51, and you have been listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. There was a caller who asked about the contingent or the delegation that has gone to the Afri-Caribbean Investment Summit taking place in Nigeria, and questioned the presence of the Prime Minister's wife as part of the delegation. Now, for me, the wife of the head of state or the wife of the prime minister, premier, president, or whatever, included in a delegation is a standard diplomatic practice. It's just like the United States of America. President Donald Trump travels to whichever country or whichever event. 99.99% of the times you would see the First Lady there. Same thing with Barack Obama. Michelle Obama was right there. And it was not a case where they were working for the state or working for the country and collecting a salary. It was from a diplomatic standpoint and in terms of representation. It for lack of a better word, it looked well, it looked good. It made the country presentable when you can see the country's president, prime minister, alongside their spouse. That from a diplomatic standpoint speaks well towards the image of St. Kitts and Nevis. So I personally do not see an issue with the spouse of any prime minister, whether it is Dr. Drew or whoever is going to be our prime minister in the future, their spouse accompanying them on an official trip to anywhere in the world. From a diplomatic standpoint, it is a standard practice, not just in the Caribbean, not just in other places, but generally across the globe. And majority of the times, whenever the spouse of in most cases, which is usually the wife, whenever they go on these kind of trips, they engage in conversations surrounding social empowerment, health, education, and all of that. It's not a case where they are involved in state secrets or matters of national security or anything of that sort. But from a diplomatic standpoint, it's a standard practice. It's a standard practice. Okay, we have a caller. Let's hit this last call. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Good morning.
Greetings for all day. Just like to give thanks to the sunshine, to give thanks to the rain. We had some wonderful rain this morning in the Basque area. I don't know if it's falling in other areas. We were by the police station area, station and prison area that was falling. And we welcome same as we say, give thanks to same. But you know, when we're looking at the water on the road, we are seeing garbage. And you know, it just reminded us of the nastiness. I'm still by the police station area, and I'm looking at a dead bird.
Did you take it up? Did you take up the bird?
No, I saw Indian man take it a while ago.
He took it up and he gone with it?
No, man, he just moved it out the footpath. The dead bird is right in front of the police station.
So you didn't take it up?
No, man, I didn't.
Okay.
And, you know, I mean, what happened to the pride? What happened to the pride? I mean, how long this is going to be going on? Maybe just see this nastiness as a norm and continue walking behind nasty people and cleaning. And talking about cleaning, you know. Yes, cleaning going on. We listen to the Honorable Minister Clark and
call her quickly because we want to begin wrapping up the program.
Okay. So you want me to come up the radio now?
Yes, you can make your point, but I'm saying do it quickly.
Okay. So we listen to the Honorable Clark and Team Pierce earlier on another radio station talking about environmental issues. And you know, he come like, you know, I mean, we have to dance like a year before we dance abroad. We are connected with all these international football environments. I mean, I look at the state of our place in terms of the nastiness, the littering, the nastiness. Oh, I mean, 68 square miles, 36 square miles, you can't keep it clean as it ought to be. Come to the top.
All right, Carla, thank you so much for your contribution to the program. It's 11:57, and you have been listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I've been your host, Devonne Cornelius. Thank you guys so much for joining me in the program for today, Thursday, March 27th. Until next time, you guys stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your day. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Don't eat and drive. Take your time and drive. And enjoy your lunch. Coming up at noon is our midday newscast. Stay with us.